Okay, today is Thursday, September the 16th, 2021. And today I actually want to talk about a topic that is very close to my heart, something I feel very passionately about. And this question that was asked on Lynette Zang's ITM trading channel is what sort of brought this up for me. This was a question that was asked by a child, a 10-year-old girl, I think. Emily Catherine, a 10-year-old, asked the question whether Lynette had some advice for a 10-year-old who wants to be financially free. And financial freedom is something that I don't even have words to express how strongly I feel about that, because becoming financially free and retaining your financial freedom is, I think, one of the the main things to not allow yourself to become enslaved by anyone's ideology, by anyone's sort of dictates and mandates, etc. And I think it's so crucial because it preserves your independence. It keeps your ability to think freely. I mean, even that being said, you could still remain a free thinker, but if you're like financially tied to debt, etc., then you may only be free in your thoughts, but not actually in what you are able to do and able to effect in your life, and the impact that you're able to have. So clearly, it's something that I feel very strongly about. And I was thinking about this child's question, and I thought about sort of something I wanted to say to this kid, even if she even listens to this video ever, or any 10-year-old or anyone at any stage, frankly. I think financial education is very important, and learning more about money, about the financial system, that is very important. Having the conversation with your parents, parents having conversation with their children, and that is very important as well. I grew up in India, so my dad worked in accounting, my mom worked for the income tax, the IRS equivalent over there. So I have an MBA in finance. My husband's a CPA, so I'm kind of already in that, that sort of financial industry, so to speak. Not really, but kind of like it's just like the water I swim in, so to speak. And it's easy to take for granted that these kind of conversations happen everywhere and in every family, but I know that is not the case, and certainly not the case here in America. And many children grow up not knowing sort of what they're signing up for when they sign a student loan document, which, by the way, I think it's absolutely criminal that we live in a system where you can, you sign your name on against a bond, against debt that will follow you even if you declare bankruptcy, at the tender age of 18, and yet you cannot touch a glass of wine until you're 21. I think that's just ironic and ridiculous. But anyways, so student loan debt, I think, is just a horrible student loan that is entered to unknowingly is just criminal. And for someone who doesn't understand sort of what the implications of that sort of loan paperwork is, it's it just binds them into a contract that they can never get out of. And then a lot of them, a lot of young people, if they have grown up in hardship or don't have much money, or grew up in a family that didn't have much money, they may end up wasting that student loan money on other nonsensical things, like sushi lunches and whatever to like fit in and stuff, and that's just sad, I think. So I have 3 tips for this child and for any young person, and even if you're a parent watching this. So first thing, talk about it. Talk about your budget, about about money, about financials. In this country, I feel like talking about money is even more taboo than talking about sex, and I think we need to rectify that. Try to if as a kid you have questions, hey mom, how much do you make, what do you make, what do you actually take home, what are these deductions, like look at your pay stub, look at your pay stub. If you're a kid, ask your parent to show you what the pay stub is, show to see what it actually looks like, what what all those line items and deductions are. Understand that, and so talk about it. Secondly, learn more, read more. There's 2 books that I highly recommend, 2 finance books. One is J.L. Collins, that's the author's name, J.L. Collins, and his book is called The Simple Path, or A Simple Path to Wealth. And I really like that book because that book was actually written initially, it was written for his daughter. And I think when people give advice that they would give their own children, I think that's worth heeding. He does not just go into money stuff, but he also goes into sort of life choices, like marrying a person who is not fiscally irresponsible, or in any other way entangling yourself with someone who is like the absolute opposite of whatever your values are. He talks about that kind of thing too. He talks about a concept called FU money, which is basically that kind of freedom cushion, to where you don't have to remain tethered to a job that is sucking your soul. I can speak from experience about that as well, but that would be a longer, different talk. I would credit the presence of FU money and financial freedom to my own ability to choose not to work for sociopaths, and those who know me well know precisely who I'm talking about. Anyways, since this is for a child, I'll try to keep it kid friendly, hopefully. Read that book, The Simple Path to Wealth. And the other book is Your Money or Your Life. That book, it's by Vicki Robbins and Joe Dominguez. I think Joe Dominguez has already passed away, but Vicki Robbins, she read out the audiobook that I listened to. It's a great book, and even the physical copy of the book has like really good tools and charts, and tables that you can make and track your spending. She talks about this sort of tracking in terms of she talks about money in terms of life energy, because that is in fact what you're earning. Your earning is the repayment for the life energy that you're putting into your work and your career. And one thing I really like about that book is she talks about how you can separate sort of that meaning making type of work from money making type of work, and decoupling that. That was a huge actually wake up for me, that I do not necessarily have to earn money from what brings me meaning. That meaning I can, I can do it in certain ways, and then I can put my my sort of professional energy to where it gives me the most return financially. So that book is incredible. So read, talk, listen, and here's okay. And this is I spoke with my oldest daughter. She's 16, and I asked her, Liesl, what would you? I made her listen to that part of the book, or not the book. I made her listen to that part of the what you call it, the Lynette Zang's video, and the question that Emily had asked, and I said, Liesl, what would you say to this 10-year-old? And what Liesl said is, learn more about sort of what what money is all about, and she said, don't take on bad debt. And I was like, wait, what do you mean bad debt? And she said, don't do credit card debt, and don't do don't get into that kind of thing. And my daughter also said, don't do the whole lifestyle creep. As you as you make more, you kind of spend more. She said, learn about ways that you can limit how much you spend on a day-to-day basis also, and don't do the peer pressure thing. And and on the bad debt thing, she said, don't take on debt for things that don't earn you money. Because now I must say, I am a no debt person. I'm like, don't do debt. Just don't do it at all. Like, don't do car debt, don't do mortgage, do no debt. My daughter does think a little bit differently, because she thinks sort of like the Robert Kiyosaki thing, like take debt that earns you. So, which is great, if she can bring that in her life, that'll be wonderful, and I'm very happy. But so she distinguishes that good debt, bad debt. So she said, don't take debt for things that will not pay you back eventually. And I thought that was really really smart. But it really, as a mother, that really warmed my heart what my daughter said about not taking on bad debt. And another thing, my daughter actually does this herself, so I will share this. As a child, what you can do is you can accept your allowance in precious metals. So my daughter, when she helps our youngest with his homework and stuff, and this is by her request, I pay her in coins, like not these copper nickel coins, precious metal coins. And if someone is willing to pay you for your services, in babysitting, or as your artwork. So say you're a kid who draws art, and then you sell your art, you can ask for payment in, say, silver coins, or or something. So you can accept your pocket money, your allowance, as they call it here in America, right? In India we call it pocket money. But you can accept your pocket money in gold coins and silver coins, in copper coins too. These are all they are valuable. They're far more valuable than the paper, or like the 0 and 1 digits that are going to come out soon in the CBDC form. Anyways, so that's what I would say. I would say, as a kid, have your piggy bank, have it filled with lots of little, silver and gold coins. That'll be wonderful. That will really be wonderful. And I don't know what else to say, except for I'm really glad that there are little children who are thinking this way about financial freedom. I know that a lot of us can kind of sense that in the air, that a storm is brewing and something is on its way. And I'm really glad that people are waking up to that, and that children are becoming more aware of that, because it is very important that children, and especially this next generation, and obviously I get really passionate talking about this. I'm really glad that young people are becoming more aware of this, because the last thing I want to see in this country that I migrated to is, this is the land of the free and the home of the brave. And that is why I moved to this country. And when I see this country turning into sort of this land of serfs and this forced servitude and serfdom that certain people are imposing, and more especially sort of, in the financial system especially, I do not like it. And when they make these so-called quote-unquote reforms, to tether our children more and more with student loans and this this life of involuntary servitude, it makes me very angry. I don't like it. And I think that more people need to be educated on financial freedom. More people need to understand, what is going on in this system. And there are many good YouTube channels that talk about this, professionally. Like, I am just a mom who talks like this on my drive back after picking up the kids, after dropping off the kids. But there are a lot of good channels that talk about this. There's one guy, actually, Sardarji guy, Minority Mindset is his channel. I really like some of the things he says. Like he talks about how to open a bank account. Don't pay fees to cash your check. At some liquor store or whatever, and get a bank account that doesn't charge you fees. Negotiate. I should probably make a longer video because I migrated to this country, and and I had to sort of start up my own first a checking account, then a credit card account, and build your credit score, and all of that, that journey, so to speak. And so I should make a longer video one. But yeah, there are a lot of good people that are talking about this, and I'm really glad that children are asking such questions. If you're a parent, do talk with your kids about money. They are smarter and more astute than we adults may give them credit for, and they can sense things. They're not stupid. They may be naive in the innocent sense, but they're not naive in the stupid sense. So give your kids some credit, and I don't mean a credit card, in case that needed to be clarified. But yeah, and if you're still here, it's a long video, so thank you for listening and watching. And leave a comment, let me know what's on your mind, and if there's any other sort of topic about educating children on this that you'd like me to talk about. Okay, thanks, bye.